Alright, hi guys. So this is my first pre-game week video for game week 1, and in this video, because obviously I've not released my team yet, etc., I will just mainly discuss the fixtures for game week 1, my personal opinion, maybe possible things to think about, and maybe even the score, I don't know, but let's just take it with the flow. The season starts with Man United and Spurs. I think it's a not the most appropriate fixture. I think home to champions is where you want to start, but um, they're starting with Man United and Spurs. Maybe because this is probably the best game this week. Um, Man United Spurs does look like the best game. It looks like a Rooney Kane showdown to me. It looks like last season Man United won this game convincingly 3-0. It was a disappointing performance by Spurs. Because I think there's loads of games last season where Spurs they had opportunities of really kind of making that kind of challenge for the top four, but it never really, no substantial kind of run was kind of formed to kind of propel themselves in that situation. So they always kind of stayed in that uh, you know territory of fifth and sixth and seventh. So for them, they obviously want to start the season well. And I remember last season when Spurs somehow won that game 1-0 away at West Ham. I think Noble missed a penalty and Eric Dyer scored. So something like that would be great. Spurs team isn't that changed. Like, okay, yeah, defensively, but Alderweireld has got history with Vertonghen, and I think there is chemistry there. Whereas with Man United, yeah, they've done decent in pre-season. They lost obviously against PSG, but overall not bad. And you know, it's the first game of the season. Obviously, Van Gaal lost his first game of the season last season against Swansea. So, it wouldn't shock me to see Spurs win. It's just that Spurs, I don't know, I see them having a mental block for some reason in this game. But either way, also another thing, people think it's going to be his second season for Kane, and many people are thinking that the first season was just a kind of anomaly in the sense that he's not going to repeat um, his performances again in terms of goals scored and everything. And I have to say that Kane is a very good striker. Even before last season, he showed signs. I think there was a very good interview by Jermaine Defoe, and he was talking how when he was at Tottenham, how Kane would always talk to Kane and be like, how many goals he scored in training, and he'll be like easily at 4 or 5. Kane is very much a pure striker, very pure striker. He's all about goals. So either way, I'm not going to go much into predicting the scoreline and stuff. Just give my basic views of the games, and I think this is a really good game to watch. Definitely, and it's unfortunate I won't be able to watch the game because I'm going to be out, but will look forward to highlights. I do think there will be goals in this game for sure. I don't think both defenses are capable of keeping clean sheets. If that happened, I'll be very surprised. So if someone's got a bet, you want to bet away from clean sheets. So yeah, second game, Bournemouth Villa. I mean, these are all the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Bournemouth Villa looks like a good game for Bournemouth to test themselves on, promoted, played some very good football, won the championship. Um, One thing I've noticed as well is how teams win the championship, but they're the ones that get relegated, whereas a team that win it by playoff tend to do well. It's kind of you know the opposite to what you would think theoretically. And either way, I think Bournemouth have got themselves a good game to test themselves against with Villa, and Villa obviously have had a lot of changes, a lot of players come in and out, and for them it's a kind of situation to kind of see what they can do. Obviously Villa, I think they did very well last season to the end, and except for the Man City game. But I remember that when Guzan made the mistake, that was a horror show for Villa. But even then, they came back in that game and they almost, snatched it. If you remember Benteke, I think he was on side. You know, it showed how well they're doing under Sherwood, because even though they had such an awful performance at the start, they turned it around, and I think that's really gives a lot of credit to Sherwood of how he changed Villa in the short time he did. He got them to a FA Cup final, and so credit to him. So this game is a good game for Bournemouth to test themselves, but also for Villa. But I think with Villa, you've got to be kind of easy with them. You can't expect a lot because a lot of players are fresh, brand new. Team chemistry is not necessarily there. So yeah, Everton, Watford. Everton don't have a good list of fixtures. Something I mentioned in the last video, and this is an important game for them. I know it sounds ridiculous. Wait, why is he talking about 11 fixtures and the first one? That's the only one. There's still 10 games, and Everton are a decent side. Yeah, but I think Everton, they've had a season last year which was I would call it a failure because of how well they did the previous season, and I remember them against Arsenal away. They played brilliant, that one game, and but now they got Delafeu back, and I think if Morales keep him, focused on football, injury free, the team chemistry is good and everything. I think with Lukaku fit, it's crucial as well. They could have a firing team. Watford, they've obviously got Kapura in, they've got a few other players in. I honestly think that I'll be very surprised if Everton didn't win this game, and that's the way I see it. I see Everton making a very good start to this season, but like I said, if Everton don't, it's just going to make things even worse because their fixture list isn't great. Leicester, Sunderland, new managers, Ranieri, Advocaat. Advocaat obviously was there before, but now he's permanent manager, and it's a good game to look to. Leicester are quite strong at home last season. At the end, they were very good, Leicester at home. So we'll see that. We know Dick Advocaat has a good defensive, platform to build his team from. So this could be a relatively low-scoring game. With Norwich and Crystal Palace, yeah, I think Alan Pardew. Yeah, Crystal Palace. I don't know if Kabay is fit for tomorrow. That's something I'm not aware of. But Palace have speed, and Palace are very good away. Last season they showed that they were actually, I think, were a better outfit away than home because of their counter attack and speed. So Norwich have to be very careful. Of course, first game back in the Premier League, they want to take in charge, and the fans will push them. But I think if they do that, I think Palace will damage them, and they will win the game because they've just got so much pace and pace to burn with Balassi, Zaha. They've got players punching. They've got Kabaya in. They put Fraser Campbell. They've got speed on the counter. So yeah. Then the 5:30 game, which I will watch tomorrow, is Chelsea and Swansea. Last season finished 4-2. And there's something that's kind of funny about this game last season is John Terry had an interview where he discussed that you know about some things about defending and how you're meant to clear the ball in such a way that you avoid on goals. But it's the ironic part was on the same week he said that he followed it with an own goal in the game with Chelsea and Swansea. So that's the reason why I remember that game. And but Swansea were doing very well that time. I think they were giving Chelsea a good run for their money in terms of scoreline. But obviously Chelsea at the start of the season were scoring goals and winning games last season very well. So this should be a very testing game. I think Swansea did transfer business very early on, and it's a game I look forward to. So obviously Chelsea will be favourites, home of the champions. Things go naturally like that. But let's not totally underestimate Swansea. I, I, when I watch this game, I'm going to watch it thinking Swansea do have a chance. Then the Sunday games, Arsenal, West Ham. I think West Ham are disappointed from the UEFA Cup exit. Maybe not too much because obviously it allows them to focus on the season. But I'm sure they've not had a good record against Arsenal for the last few seasons away. And although West Ham were the first team to beat Arsenal at Emirates, Bobby Zamora, if you remember, but I still think Arsenal look very good. I think Arsenal should win. It's not an Arsenal fan saying this. It's just based on how both teams look. And West Ham's first 11, it's not very clear. I think Valencia's injured as well, so it's a bit shaky for West Ham at the moment. I think the best thing they will probably do is maybe put 10 men back behind and try park the bus and go for a draw, maybe counter or something. That's the way I see West Ham approaching the game. Slaven Bilic against Wenger, we saw that with Besiktas and Arsenal all season in the Champions League qualifying stages, and Slaven Bilic actually went against Arsenal. He didn't go defensive. He went to play, and I think the end of the day did kind of cost him as well. But I don't think he will do that same mistake. I think if he does that, that's not wise as well because Arsenal have got pace. They are a very good team in terms of the players have recently shown in pre-season. They will damage you if you're giving them too much space. Newcastle, Southampton. Newcastle obviously they've got Mitrovic, brand new striker. They've got Wijnaldum. There's a lot of debuts in the team, and it's kind of interesting to see the Newcastle set up with Steve McLaren. And I think Steve McLaren is actually a better coach than Alan Pardew ever was. So that's interesting. Let's see how that does for Newcastle. In terms of Southampton, I expect the same. Last season, I think they won that game, didn't they? 2-1. Yeah. So I think this will be a tight game. Now, with Stoke and Liverpool, obviously that was just embarrassment for Liverpool because their legend, Steven Gerrard, they absolutely ruined his last game. Absolutely ruined it. Yeah, you know, when I say this, I'm not speaking like Claude. I'm just saying like absolutely ruined it. I mean, how can you send off your legend by losing a game 6-1, and yet when you score, it's him as well. It's just embarrassing. Joke of a club, but they've done lots of changes. Let's see what they do now. Let's see what they do against Stoke away. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I look forward to that game, but hopefully, it's most likely going to be the same story. But then again, let's not underestimate Liverpool in the sense that they have bought a lot of players. Let's see how it works out for them as well. I do like Benteke, and let's see how that works out for them. And the Monday game is West Brom Man City. Yeah, I think City. I think after seeing all the results, I think it will galvanize City to make sure they win their game. I think City will win this game. I'll be surprised if they don't. And that's my basic view of game week 1. Obviously, in future videos, I can talk about more specifically in relation to my players in my team. We're looking at the fixtures and go from there. Obviously, May night don't have the Gale for Spurs, and that's interesting to see what will happen with that. Lloris, I think, is injured as well. I think he fractured his wrist or something. So there have been talks about Lloris and United. I mean, there's no doubt that if Man United lose the Gale, they will want to bring in players. Like you will see fans in London barking for Man United for them to get a player in, and not even necessarily a goalkeeper. They might just end up getting someone like Pedro, and think, okay, yeah, we've covered goalkeepers, we've covered the goalies now, so let's just focus on this season. Like how Rooney covers the defensive midfield. So yeah, and in regards to Arsenal, another thing is I thought this was funny because people were talking about the Community Shield and how Arteta came in the last stages to lift the trophy. And look, end of the day with Cazorla, of course, is the main penalty kick taker. But if Arteta's on the pitch, he's taking it over Cazorla. Let's get that one thing clear. And people define Arteta as a holding midfielder. You're halfway there. You're about halfway right. Coquelin's is our holding midfielder. Let's be frank. But in regards to Arteta, you're right. He's holding, but he's not holding the midfield. He's not holding that. He's holding trophies. His main duty at this club is to hold trophies, and he shall be holding 3 trophies this season, hopefully. So, okay, guys, thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. It's my first pre-game week video, and I guess my next video will be the post-game week video, and hopefully then I can also show you guys my team, and go from there. So yeah, and lastly, if you guys can join the league, there is a video before posted with the code. That would be great. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for watching.